Yes, 10,000 copies. Yep, no worries. Get them all sorted. I want them in the shops by Christmas. Bye. Bye-bye. Hello there. I've decided to make a change in direction. I've got so good at typing in games, I've decided to start my own software development company. Well, not really. I'll be looking at a game that came free on the cover of Crash. It's called Software House, and you get to run your own software house and have fun. So let's go back to the glory days of software development, where these things were absolutely evil. Remember, kids, software piracy is theft. So, sit back, relax, and let's get ready to make lots of money. Go on, hop it.
Software House, Cult Games, copyright, press Y for another game. Here's the top scores. On top Chris, Great Nunes, Minor Manic, Low Larry and Puny Pete. So, let's see if we can get on the scoreboard without the game crashing. So, here is our Software House main menu. First thing we need to do is give it a name. So let's call it I'll do. And the principal, which is me, how about Mr. Sausage? Right. It is January, 19 turns to go. We've got no staff, no games, no conversions, and £2,500. So, the main menu, you've got cycle between the programs with N, review buy programs with R. So let's buy a program first by pressing R. And apparently I need to have staff first. You sack staff with K, employ staff with E. So the one problem you have with this game, you press a button and you don't always know what happened. So I don't own any games. Can I employ staff? No. Interview successful. The new member of staff requires 10,000 per annum. So, a member of staff, I can now review by programs, hopefully, with R. So that cancels out of that menu. R again, going to remaining games viewed this quarter, press any key. So, there's a simulation game, spelt wrong, with a hit potential of 32%. That's a bit rubbish. An arcade game with a hit potential of 74%. That looks promising. And a TV license worth 21%. Nah. Which one do we want? Let's go for number 2, the arcade game. So we call up the programmer. Hi, I'm the leading manager of a leading software house. We really like your program and we'll pay royalties of, let's go with 9%. That sounds reasonable. Let's sign a contract. We've got our first game. It's an arcade game, arcade conversion. Let's think of something silly. Okay. And keep our sausage theme, bangers. So, contract signed and sealed. So, on the menu now, pressing key that isn't it. There we are, excellent. So, we're now looking at bangers. We've got no stock for it. We've got no artwork. Let's get some artwork for the game. It's a good one. So we know 3 reputable artists, Dave Hart, Paul Hines and Electro Art. Electro Art are the best. So let's get the best art for our game, which is quite good. So that's number 3 selected. It doesn't tell you that it's done it. So let's now look at game status. So it tells us now we've got Electro Art, normal packaging, no adverts and no price. So to set price, that is to delegate tasks for which you need staff. So I think this is a good game. Game price should be $9.99. Back to the main menu. It doesn't tell you anything. Delegate tasks. Duplicate. We now need to order cassette tapes. Let's go with 10,000. We have 10,000 copies of Bangers in stock with normal packaging. And we've got one task left. Each member of staff gives you one task. Let's delegate tasks. Let's go with monthly adverts. And let's go with 5 adverts for Bangers. So no tasks left. So I think now we are going to exit to mag, which basically ends your turn. So we now look at our monthly computer magazine called Arcade Action. Latest news and top 10 inside. Press A key. Leading city financier Richard Bronson has expanded by buying an equity share in Snorkersoft from his entrepreneur boss. That is good. And we have exclusive pokes and maps for all titles from our new Wave firm Snorkersoft to show off their classy products. So that's pretty good. We're doing well in the papers. That's not so good. Our duplication company has announced a price rise. That is bad. Okay, how are we doing in the top 10? Acarian Wars, Narctonoid, Spunduzzy, Bedpan, Mitch Day, Wimpsters, Boobarian, Software House, Rocky 9 and Swizzball. We're not in the top 10. That's a shame. And here are our accounts. Oh, so tape duplicating costs £3,000. Advertising £1,250. We paid out £2,500 in royalties, £4,000 in overheads, £2,500 staff pay, miscellaneous £750, which is the artist. So we spent nearly £14,000, but we made £27,000. So we are on the up. And coming up with the sales figures. So we sold half our stock, according to this. Not sure how the maths adds up. Oh, it seems to cycle through or change. But yes, we sold 4,000 copies of Bangers. Now into the second quarter. So, stock count. We've got loads left of Bangers, which is excellent. Let's see if we can get another game. R for review or buy programs. Remaining games viewed this quarter. An adventure game with 12%. That's awful. A simulation game spelt wrong, 84%. That's good. Another one was 68%. I'm going to go with the number 2 one. The simulation game. Let's call up the programmer. Let's try and get it for 9%. Let's try 8% first. Oh dear, he didn't like that. So let's try the slightly more rubbish simulation. So we've lost that one forever. Simulation number 3, 68%. That's a bit all right. Let's go with 7% for him. We've got a deal. What should we call this? It's a simulation. So let's call it what are they called? Sim Barbecue. There we are. We've got a deal. So we're currently looking at Bang. We don't want to look at Bangers. We look at Sim Barbecue. So one thing you can do is delegate tasks and upgrade the game. So we found a programmer to make the game a bit better, do a rewrite. That makes the game a better deal. Hi, how's work lately? Quite slack actually. I need an upgrade of an existing title. Can you handle it? My offer is £1,000. Yeah, alright. Nice one. So the game should now be better. Let's do some art for it. Let's go with the middle brow option, Paul Hines. And let's now duplicate it. Let's have, again, 10,000. And let's set the price to, I think, $8.99. A little bit cheaper. And finally, oh, no task left. So I'm going to employ another member of staff. The fact you have to press a key to go back to the main menu before it notices you've done stuff is irritating, to be honest with you. So let's do some adverts. For this game, let's have 5 of those. And let's now do next game. I don't only need it. Yes, I do. Right, here we are. Delegate tasks, monthly adverts for them. And let's now book a fare. I want 5 adverts, please. So, can I do stock count? 6.5 of bangers, 10 of barbecue. Right, back in the main menu. I've booked a fare. I've not actually noticed that. Let's also promote our software house. So, what can they offer me? Free games to mags, send free posters, radio adverts, famous star name, or TV adverts. I'm going to go with, let's have some posters out. So, I've got 1 task left. I'm going to improve the packaging of Sim Barbecue, which I think is a task. So normal is just free. I'm going to make it plastic, which is slightly better. Video is the best. And let's do one more thing for this one. Let's woo the distributors. So essentially we go schmoozing. 500 quid business lunches for M.H. Smiths, John Denzies, Boods or Vixens. I always liked John Denzies as a kid. Got a lot of games from John Denzies. So let's go schmoozing. And they're going to buy more of our stuff. So that is no task left. So we've got Sim Barbecue, 69%. Should be made better soon. That was improved by 7%, I think. So let's go to magazine. And I press the button and hope. Here we are. So, we spent out all this money, but we've made even more money, which is good. Here come the sales figures. Bangers sold about 4,000, which is good. How did Sim Barbecue do? Yeah, that number disappeared again. Sim Barbecue, 2,500. Not as good as I hoped, but not bad. So, we're now in the third quarter. Our market force is down for some reason. 2 members of staff. Nothing bad's happened yet. So let's see if we get any new games. I've actually made money. A really awful simulation, 10%. An awful strategy game. Or a great arcade game. Let's go with a great arcade game. I want this, and I'll give him 10%. Oh, he doesn't like that. So, let's go with the awful... No, let's leave all that. So, I'm going to sack a member of staff. It's fair not offer any of them. So, we find a member of staff. And let's get some adverts for bangers. And let's also convert bangers to a different system. So you can do that as well. Because this was the 80s when you had lots of different home computer systems. Obviously Sinclair being the best. But this one, you have to negotiate a price. Yeah, he wants an outright sum. Let's give him 900 quid. He don't like that. Okay, let's try 1,300. Okay, let's try 2 grand. Nice one. So we'll get that, and we've got 1 left. So let's go to the next game. Again, let's convert that. So the idea is quite good. I quite like the idea. The interface is a little bit irritating because it doesn't always update the screen. So let's try and get away with this a bit cheaper. Let's try 1,600 quid. Yeah, nice one. So we've got no tasks left. Market force is down. So let's promote the house again. Let's promote our latest release. Free games, free posters, radio adverts, famous star, or let's go with a TV advert. So, and that's now exit to mag. Now we wait to see if it actually notices us pressing exit to mag. It does the calculations in the background. I don't think it has. Exit to mag again. Now we wait, because it might have noticed it. There, here we are. Arcade action. Latest news and top 10 inside. So, member of staff walks out during a press interview, particularly scathing about management. So whether that means when we fired or we've lost the other member of staff. Plus, we've got a really positive magazine article in Crush. Press any key to continue. And Cinder has signed up one of our titles. Sales are expected to multiply. We like this. So, are we in the top 10? I hope we are. Narctinoid, Bounders, Boobarian, Wimsters, Rimcrawler, Rocky 9. Oh, Bangers is top 10. Nice one. Got Bangers and Sim Barbecue. And here are our sales. So, we spent a lot more money on advertising. But we still made a little bit of profit, which is good. We are in the black. So, Bangers, sales are dropping now. I might drop the price. Sim Barbecue selling quite reasonably. And I think we're now into Christmas. Yes, it's the fourth quarter. We just had to pay tax, which was 40 grand. Ouch. I think that's all our money gone, maybe. Yeah. Direct debit tax. I don't like that. So we've got no staff. Let's employ someone. Here we are. So let's reduce the price of Bangers to $4.99 now. I need to get some more copies of Bangers, by the way. So we can do that. Let's duplicate another 5,000. It doesn't matter how many you order, it still counts as one task. They obviously work to rule. And let's see if we've got any new games out that are good. A rubbish adventure, a good simulation. Well, okay, so let's try the good simulation. Let's try offering him 11%. We've got a deal. Now, simulation of what? Let's call it butchers. You're running a butcher, perhaps. Signed and sealed. So, let's get artwork for our new game. So let's go with middle of the road art. And let's go with packaging. Let's go with, card packaging. And let's delegate. Let's duplicate a pro. Let's have, 5,000 copies. We just set a price for it. If we need another member of staff. Let's do an advert for it. You can have a number of games. You cycle through his Bangers again. And let's push Sim Barbecue with some more adverts. Back to menu and exit to mag. Here we are. It's now thinking. So, we had a massive tax bill, which wiped out all our profits. That's the government for you, taking our money to give to orphans in the NHS and whatnot. So, they love Snogsoft's new release, which is about running a butcher, makings of a classic. However, we supported a small distributor and had $3,500 in debts. Ouch. We don't like that. Top 10. Come on. Rocky. Oh, Bangers is top 3. We like that. Mitch Day. Excellent. And Ninja Ants. So Sim Barbecue's not anywhere, not Butchers yet. So, we had a massive tax bill, which was miscellaneous. Apart from that, would have been, well, we might have broken even. We're now massively in debt. Bangers sold about 1,000. That's not so good. And Vixen's numbers will disappear in a second. Sim Barbecue selling okay. And how is Butcher Man doing? Butchers sold all right. Ouch. If you lose too much money, you go out of business. I've never ever got to the end of this game. I've sometimes got halfway through. So, we've got a negative balance, a really strong market force, 3 games. I think we're going to sack a member of staff and try and get one more game out without spending too much more money. Anything good? Average simulation, a TV license, or an adventure. Let's go with an adventure game. We've not had an adventure game yet. We like adventure games. Let's go with 6%. Yes. I'll call this one Mard Quest. Bosh. So, we've got 4 games now in our stable. You can dump games. So let's do artwork for Mard Quest, which is Paul Hines. Let's do delegate, duplicate. Let's go with 7,000 copies. Bomb. Delegate, monthly adverts, 5 of them. Okay, we're going to add 3 adverts because we're going broke. And game price, let's go with $6.99. And let's now exit to Mag. And hopefully make some money and not be out of business within a year. Come on now, come on. We've not had any runs of bad luck. I've played this game once and we had constant, endless fires every single quarter. Every quarter the warehouse would burn down. So, and here's the first fire. Repairs cost £5,000. Swines. But at least we've not lost our stock. That's the worst. You order 30,000 copies of a game and then a fire destroys them all instantly. So, we're not top 3 anymore. We are top 6 with Bangers. But not the other ones aren't selling. So, oh, that's pretty good. That is good. Look at that. We sold 108,000 worth of software. Right, this time I'm not going to. Bangers are selling reasonably. Come on. Next one. This is doing pretty good. Sim Barbecue is selling strong. That's going very well, Sim Barbecue. Butchers, wow. Butchers sold really more copies of Butchers. And how's Mard Quest doing? Mard Quest is a good seller. Apart from Vixen's number disappearing again. Right. Okay, let's do a stock count. Bangers, we've got enough left. Barbecue, we need more. Butchers need more. Right. So we definitely need to go to SimQuest needs more. Sim Barbecue, sorry. Let's have another 5,000. This one was out of stock, wasn't it? Yeah, Butchers was out. We could have sold 11,000 apparently. And let's also reduce the price of Butchers to $6.99. So that's it for the day. That's it for the month. The quarter, sorry. Let's go straight to Mag. And hopefully nothing horrible is going to happen. So we didn't sell nearly as well. But we still made profit. We sold 44,000 worth, which is pretty good, making a profit of 20,000 over the quarter. We like this. So Bangers isn't selling great anymore. Sim Barbecue not selling great. I dumped those games, I think. Butchers selling strong. Not as strong as last month, unfortunately. MardQuest, we've sold out. I'm pressing keys trying to get it to advance. Here we are. Loads the screen twice for some reason. So, we've got 100 grand, really strong market force. I think we need to get rid of Bangers. So, we press S to sell the game. The best offer is from Maxivision 556. Yeah, go on. Dump the game. Now, go to Sim Barbecue again. We're going to sell that. Over the Edge, 416. We'll have that as well. It's got two games now. We've got Butchers and MardQuest. MardQuest needs more stock. Nice one. And let's try and get a new game. Rubbish arcade game. Rubbish that one there. Or game number 3. That's a game number 3. This game is, there's machine code in there and there is basic and it often breaks. So that's on offer from 12%. So what should we call this game? Baconator. That'll do. So our new game Baconator. It's pretty good. So let's delegate some tasks. We definitely need a price, which is going to be 999. And let's duplicate that. Let's have 10,000. And can we get artwork? For a new get, you've already got artwork for this game, apparently. I'm not quite sure how that works. 80%, 10,000 stock. Yeah, that's broken, that is. Yeah, you can see here it's vaguely broken. So, MardQuest, Baconator. You've got last quarter sales because it's not quite working. But anyway, that means you've got free art. Who knows how that works? Let's go to magazine. Yes, this game is interesting, but then it starts going a bit wrong. Right, exit the magazine for real this time. It does calculations of how we've done. I do like this graphic of arcade action. Nice big chunky sprites. And a bit of colour. Press a key. Bop. We've slashed their... leading software house Pond, I wonder who they are, have slashed their prices. Firm sales fall. These are random events. Top 10. Top 10. Butchers is top. We are the top game in the whole country. I do like Excellent and Bedpan. It's presumably Taipan, perhaps. Bluebarian. So, yes, we are minting it. Income 57 grand. Right, Butchers selling strong. MardQuest selling okay. And I want a new game, Baconator. Come on, come on. Tell us about Baconator. Wow, that's strong sales on Baconator. Our market force has now plummeted. We've got a massive tax bill. I don't know why our market force keeps falling. So let's promote our house. Basically, we go plug in ourselves how great we are. They're not sure how our market force can plummet when. Let's have a famous star name. So Taylor Dobson, perhaps. Right. Any new games? A rubbish simulation, a good adventure, or a good. Let's have a good adventure. I'd like a good adventure game. They're good. Let's try offer 10%. Yes. Sign contract. Let's call it Desk Lord. It's helpful to give games names that can fit into the 4 spaces. You get they're the full name, but you can only see the first 4 characters. So if you call everything the same, it's not going to work. So let's sort out Desk Lord now. So can Desk Lord? It's already got artwork from a previous game, which saves us money, which is a bug. Delegate tasks, duplicate. Let's have 15,000 of Desk Lord. We can set the price to $10.99. It's a luxury release. Let's use video packaging so it looks nicer. And let's do monthly adverts. Let's have lots. Ooh, ouch. Adverts now cost 500 quid. That's double. That's the 80s for you. Inflation is bad, kids. Inflation is bad. Exit to mag. Right. I'll take a snapshot as well. I think this is the best I've ever done. I've managed to make it to turn with 10 turns left, but that's really scraping. And this, I've got lots of money. And we've had a fire. We have lost all stocks after duplicating 15,000 cassettes. 0 SROC. Not bless it. So, hopefully you've sold some. Just have to duplicate new games. Butchers is second. Swizzball. So, massive tax bill. But most of that's tax. If we take the tax off, we still lost money because of the tax, but it's not too bad. Butcher sold a small amount. Mard Quest sold a few. Let's get rid of those. Even Baconator's not selling. How about a new game? Desk Lord. Again, we're not selling. They're not selling. That's not good. I don't know why. They're good games. We had a TV advert and everything. So, we've got a small amount of money, 1 member of staff. Let's do a stock check. Nothing. We've got no stock at all. So I'm going to sell Butcher. No one wants Butcher. Okay. Let's try and sell the Mardy one. No one wants Mard. Okay. So let's delegate. Let's get some more copies of that anyway. Mard Quest. And let's delegate duplicating. Basically, you have to tell someone to ring someone up to get duplication done. Unless the duplication is the fact they have to sit there with a tape recorder doing high-speed dub for this order. It's certainly possible. Some software companies did use proper duplicators, some just did it themselves, and you could tell the difference. So that's all done. Yeah, we know that. Nothing left for Butcher. It tells you this, but doesn't let you go back. Yeah, it says warning, no copies remain. Can you do something about it? No, you can't. You're already going to mag. So, yeah, should tell you that and say, oh, sort it out. It doesn't let you. Bad UI. It was a free game though on the cover of Crash. So, in we go. So, Crush magazine, printed an article on Snorksoft, it's excellent, and there's been another fire. This is ridiculous. Right. You think the police would be involved, really? Rimcrawler, Mitch Day, Wimpsters. Not all. Butchers is still 7. No one wanted to buy it off us, but it's still 7. So, we lost £4. That's not too bad. Bear in mind we had a fire again. We're out of stock of Butcher. We know that anyway. We made a choice not to sell it. Marquest is not selling. Baconator is doing all right. We lost £4. So that's, that's a round in the pub, really. Come on. One more. Desk Lord doing well. Good old Desk Lord. I am the Lord of the desk, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all to the desk, said he. Right. We've had a fire. So let's try and sell Butcher. Oh, Exxon wants to buy it. Distinctive Software want to buy it for $359. Yes, please. So now can you do some duplication. Let's go with 7,000, which is far too many. But the idea is I want to do it and have it done for a while, not have constant fires. So I'm going to take a snapshot for later use. Boom. And quit to magazine. We're now halfway there. So tape duplicating cost 10.5. We didn't sell much. But hopefully that cost will stop. Won't have to duplicate next time. Marquis is not selling at all. I'll have to cut the price. I will cut the price and also do some schmoozing perhaps. Baconator, not selling well. We need a new hit, people. We need a new hit. We need to get some teenagers to write some games for us and try and pay them pennies. Even Death Store's not selling. Right. We are still in the black though, which is good. So let's get a new game. An awful strategy game. An awful arcade game, or a great simulation. Let's go with a simulation. And it's great. I'm going to go for 12%. Contract. Corner of the game. Simulation. That's about aeroplanes. That's what I know. Wingy. So you're flying an aeroplane. Right. Let's cycle through. Baconator, Desk Lord, Wingy. Right, let's sort out the tape copy. Let's have 10,000 of Wingy. Let's have some great artwork for Wingy. Already done. Excellent. Because of a bug. Let's set the price of Wingy to $9.99, and finally some adverts. Loads of adverts for Wingy. And finally, let's promote the house. Let's give out some free stuff. Promote my latest release. Give free games to Mags, number 1. So that's all done. 9 turns left. Exit to Mag. Here we are. Hi sir, we're from Sharks, Software House Market Leaders. We've been monitoring you and we'd very much like you to join us. We make sure those on top stay on top. Membership 25,000. Interested? Now, I think this is a protection racket. I've never had the money to join them, and I think after you say no, things start burning down all the time. I'm going to say no because I haven't got 25,000. If I had, I would have joined in. So, back to arcade action. Excuse me, latest news and top 10. Again, we've said no, and it's yet another fire. Is it them doing it? I don't know. It's certainly, I think I'm suspicious about the whole thing. But they like our new release, and we've lost all our stock yet again. It just gets tiresome. Apparently, if you play the classic board game Civilization, we get the late Bronze Age, it's constant civil wars. Mard Quest is top 2. If only, hopefully we've sold it at stock. Again, we have massive losses. We spent 16,000. We've not even got the tax bill yet. Marquis is not selling, but apparently it's number 2. That doesn't make any sense. Baconator. Deathlord is selling these. Well, it's all right. I should probably make it a budget release if I'm still in the game. Wingy sold all right, but not enough to save me. I think I'm out of the game now. So, 14,000 in debt, plus a massive tax bill, plus we've got. Well, we're still in the game. So, let's try and sell off Mard Quest. Maxi Vision want to buy it for 233. Yes. So, let's duplicate. Let's have 1,000 of them. The idea is, can we just stay in? I don't think we're going to make enough money. Not with that massive tax bill. Tax is bad, kids. Tax affects entrepreneurs like me. Puts them out of business. And finally, it's Wingy. Not bad business. That and fires. The reason the UK software industry died is because of constant fires, apparently. So let's exit to Mag. Again, sharks are trying to make me join them. No, I don't have 25,000. Stop setting me on fire. I bet there's going to be another fire. Or a flood. Or a plague of locusts. Latest news. Bosch. We've lost a member of staff. Not the end of the world. That means we don't have to make them redundant, which saves us £1,000. Our duplication costs have gone up again. No fires, which is good. We need to sell every single game, hopefully, and make a massive profit. Otherwise, we're out of business with a huge tax bill. Scribble. Mitch Day. Spunduzzy. Okay. We made £4,000. Yeah. I think I've gone bust. 37 copies of Baconator sold. 112 of Deathlord. And only 413 of Wingy. That was my big hope, was Wingy. Yeah. And I think, yeah, we're out of the game. No turns to go with a £57,000 debt. Press no for another game, and you're going to see the source, which is quite nice. So let's, just for fun, I'm going to print the source out because I'm like that. Anyway, that was Software House. Hope you enjoyed that. We should be back to type in games next week. Until then, thank you for watching. Goodbye. After I broke into basic mode, I printed off the source, as you do, and had a good look around. It's 14 pages of A4 if you print it using Spectaculator. The first thing I noticed was that the game itself is a conversion by C.J. Denman. You can't just save the basic to tape, as it relies on a font that it loads into memory beforehand. To save memory, a lot of the variables do not have very descriptive names, so I had to do a fair amount of note-taking and tracking program logic all over the shop. The key array is A, which is 29 by 16 and is used for all kinds of numbers. I also noted that there is a memory saving trick that I only learned about this year on Twitter. Rather than using 0 and 1, it is a lot more memory efficient to create variables of that value and then just use those. In this code, Q is set to 0 and L is set to 1. That can save you 8 or 9 bytes per use of those numbers. I noticed some odd bits of code with restore and data and that, which I was more used to seeing when you initialize arrays. You get a few of those as well. Then I looked again and realized that it was doing something clever. The variable x will be set to a number, say between 1 and 6. If you want to do different things based on that number, like in a random events table, you have three choices. Number 1. 6 if statements. If x equals 1, then go sub 1000. If x equals 2, then go sub 2000. That's how I would have done it when I was a kid. Number 2. A go sub statement involving multiplication. Go sub, open bracket, x equals 1, close bracket, times 1000, plus open bracket, x equals 2, close bracket, times 2000, and so on. The expression in brackets is evaluated and is either 0 for false and 1 for true. For short lists, like the spells in the Usborne Fantasy Adventure books, there's only 6 spells, these are fine. When there are long lists, these get really irritating and prone to errors. When I converted to CIA, I had 24 of these in a list, and it was a real pain to read and to correct. Number 3. Software House does something new. We restore, then we do a loop, reading a data item over and over until we've done the loop X number of times. Then we go sub to that X number. Quite lovely. Numbers immediately follow the loop in data statements. Now, on to the game itself. The sales calculation is very cool, as it takes into account how much marketing you have done for each game, which covers artwork, packaging and magazine adverts, as well as very high or very low prices. This marketing value is reduced by a factor which depends on how prominent your software house is, the market force, how many games you have in the market, and the price. This number is then multiplied by the hit potential of the game, multiplied by a factor which varies depending on which quarter you are in, multiplied again by a factor determined by the age of the game. After 3 months on the market, sales dropped rapidly. Really cool stuff, and lots of fun to work out what on earth was happening. It's all on line 1490. Now we move on to the stuff that doesn't quite work so well. You remember that I lost without much fanfare. The game checks at the end of the turn to make sure your current balance is greater than minus £250,000. If you're too much in debt, it drops you back to the main menu. There was actually a message on line 5073 that says, "I'm afraid that you have debts of more than 25,000. Time to call the receivers in." But you never ever see it. That line is never called. If you do manage to win by completing turn 21, you get a message on the screen, a bonus of £50,000 and an entry on the high score table. I did this by cheating, of course. Cheaters never prosper, and my score was too high to go onto the table with a B injured out of range. Next, the software fair. You book it by pressing B, and it happens in April, except it never seemed to happen. In fact, we never got the Arcade Action magazine in April either. I had to go bug hunting. I had a good look at the random events routine, which starts on line 1800. There was an array, U, of 5 events. 1 to 3 are normal events, 4 is an event that relates to sharks, and 5 is to do with the fair. If we are not in April, then we skip the fair. If we are, then we have news about it. If the fair is not booked, X is set to 1. On the next line, we set X to 2 to 6, turn off the fair book flag, and then do the clever for loop with data and go to. Yes, go to, not go sub. This bypasses the magazine and takes us straight to the accountants. The random events were still happening, and we were still getting the benefits or otherwise of the software fair, but we had no clue what they were. The first fix was to change that go to go sub. This left us with an interesting problem that if we're not going to the software fair, we set X to 1. Then we set X to 2 to 6 to cover events at the fair, whether we're going or not. So adding a go to on the not going line or an if statement on the X to 2 to 6 sorts that out. So what can happen at the fair? It could be nothing, as the fair was a huge success, but we didn't go. Could be nothing, as we did go, but there was poor turnout. We could go, our game could flop, and our market force could drop by 20. We could claim that the fair didn't promote our game, so we increase our market force by 5 and get £1,000 back. Our store could collapse, which hurts market force by 15 and we have to pay £1,000 in compensation. Or it could be a mega success, with market force increases by 35 and we make £4,000. For comparison, TV adverts increase market force by 20, so a store collapsing is catastrophic. In the game as written, these would randomly happen to you every April without you knowing about it. The tax code isn't right either, which could well be down to a simple misunderstanding. Line 195 covers tax, which is done every 4th term. It calculates your tax as your taxable income times 0.25. If your taxable income is above £20,000, then it taxes the whole lot at 40%, not just what's above 20,000. So if you do well, you get crippled by taxes. It could have been intentional, who knows? What definitely is intentional is a nice little software piracy subplot. There's a flag in the code called PJ. If it is 0, and you're more than a few turns into the game, and you're unlucky, you'll lose 40% of your sales in a quarter. Then a man in a trench coat can sidle up to you. Psst! I can't give you my name, but I've got some news for you. It'll cost $1,000 though. Pay up, and he reveals that a rival software house is selling bootleg copies of your games, the swines. You can sue them, but it'll cost you £10,000 a quarter. This can go on for the rest of the game, draining your wallet like Jarndyce versus Jarndyce. You can win though, and that does give a big boost to your market force. Market force is really important for sales, and you push that up through giving tapes to magazines, creating posters, using celebrities, radio and TV adverts. Unfortunately, the game hates you and takes it away from you. On turn 8, line 1770 takes 12 of your market force away and reduces the marketing appeal of all your games by 75%. It also does this every October for some reason. So in the second half of year 2, your market force drops by 24. Line 1710 also reduces your marketing force if it is over 10. The first time it triggers by 9, it then increases each turn. Not even a sponsorship deal with Madness could explain that. There's also a variable called diff, which reduces your sales slightly. It starts out at 1.5, and then after turn 15 increases by 0.25 every turn if your market force is below 10. And good luck keeping it high when TV adverts increase it by 20 and cost £10,000. On a happier note, my suspicion that sharks were evil was not really borne out by the code. The flag GOS covers whether you are in it or not. If you are, then each turn there is a chance of a special sharks event to happen in the magazine. A big boost to your market force as sharks criticise software pirates and praise you, or 3 small hits, because sharks call you a quick buck merchant, because Ultimote call sharks conmen, or there's an internal split within sharks. I discovered that I was overpaying on royalties too. 12% is an automatic deal, 2% is an automatic fail. In between, it depends on the quality of the game. An 80% game and a 5% deal is a heads or tails proposition. I then decided to see what would happen if I bought a game, gave it artwork, packaging and a price, sold adverts for it, but then didn't create any copies. On exit to magazine, I was warned that I was out of stock. I then sold many copies and made a sizable profit because I didn't have to pay out 30p per tape plus packaging. In this way, I nearly made it to the end of the game. This is a bit of a loophole in some very advanced code and an odd scenario. If the code warned you and let you go back, like it does if you try to exit a magazine without artwork or a price, then I could understand the omission. Perhaps it was looking forward to digital downloads. I also worked out another potential exploit by looking at the code. A27 is the marketing appeal of the game, which starts out at 0. By adding artwork, packaging and adverts, you add to this. You then set the price. If it's below £3, then A27 is multiplied by 2.5. There is nothing stopping you then setting the price to $14.99, the price I paid for Big Box Carrier Command. This multiplies A27 by 0.7 and also costs you a task, but you still benefit overall from the budget boost. However, I don't think a kid would be able to work that out without access to the source code and a lot of head scratching. I don't think I'll go into the software publishing industry after all, if these are the problems that I'd face. Thank you for sitting through a long discussion on an obscure game that you won't find much information about even on World of Spectrum. It's a clever game and worth spending a bit of time on, even if some of the bugs are sadly game-breaking. I certainly had fond memories of it as a kid and had fun making this video. We'll be back to type in action next week, but for now, thank you for watching.